Welcome to the HMO Property Podcast, where we connect, educate and inspire the UK's HMO property community. So stop what you're doing, sit back, relax and enjoy the story. What's up, HMO Nation, and welcome to another episode of the HMO Property Podcast with me, Rupert Wallace. In this episode, we're interviewing successful HMO property investor, Sean Ka Shing. Sean is going to take us on his HMO property investment journey so far, including the ups, the downs, the highs, and the lows. Now, Sean's been investing in HMOs for just 12 months, but he's completed 5 HMO projects, currently housing 22 tenants. So let's jump straight in. Sean, welcome to the show.
Hey, Rupert, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. Good to have you with us.
No, thanks for inviting me. I'm excited, man. Carry on.
Good to have one of the younger cadre on board.
I'm not that young, but okay.
Sean, before we dive into the detail of HMOs, give us a bit about your background before you started on your HMO property journey.
Yeah, so before my property journey, I've been an accountant for 7 years. About 3 years ago when I started my own business with 2 other shareholders. And since then, we manage about 200 clients and we currently turn over about 360 grand from just the accountancy side. Prior to that, I've just been really grafting with HMRC inquiries with clients. So it was all about solving problems, dealing with emotions, obviously, ups and downs, and generally just a lot of client relationship and negotiation. So that's been my background from day one. And that's basically it, really.
Good stuff. So 7 years of pushing numbers around zero.
Yeah, pushing around numbers around zero. Yeah,
organising other people's money.
Yeah, watching where money goes. Really, I've been dealing with property clients for like a number of years, and all it took was that one question with one of them, and said, "Oh, how do I get started?" So that was kind of the main push, really.
Good stuff. So, Sean, how did you actually get into the world of HMO property investing?
So I first stumbled on it when I joined a course March 18 last year. One of my cousins actually does HMOs in another area to me. So I've always known about it, but not in depth. So the education was really key for me to get a good understanding, and lots of research and speaking to other like-minded individuals to learn more, really.
So your cousin's already in the game?
Yeah, he's far in the game. But,
where does he invest? Whereabouts in the country is he?
Coventry.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So was there anything holding you back from investing in HMO property?
I think it's a general idea that we're brought up to think that we stay in the job. I mean, I was comfortable earning a decent salary and wage, especially starting a business as well. It was really leaving that comfort zone of having something set up already and setting a new business venture, because effectively property is like another business, really. And it was really a half-hearted conversation with the current shareholders, really, to say, look, in 12 months' time, I might leave and just concentrate on property, really.
How did that go down?
It didn't go too well, but we had a compromise in the end. And since September last year, I dropped down to 2 days a week. So I work on the Mondays and the Thursdays in the office, and still accompany the clients I still have, and just attend to anything that my team need, really.
Got it. Sean, next up, tell us about your very first HMO property deal.
So the very first 6-bed deal I bought was back in December, just before Christmas. I remember it quite clearly, actually exchanging Christmas, and then I completed on the 4th of January. within a week, we was already stripping walls off back to brick. So there's a lot of planning beforehand, getting the builders in and getting schedule works in. And it took us up until about halfway through April. We finished the project, 6-bed, 6 ensuite HMO. It was previously a 4-bed, 2-reception end terrace with an existing extension. So it's about 121 square meters in size. So it's a very large property for a fraction of the price compared to other properties in the area. That now is worth 220,000.
What did you buy it for?
I bought it for 112,950.
What did you spend?
I spent about 75,000 altogether. So I was all in for about 202, including all the stamp duty fees, licensing, and all that. And that currently cash flows just over £20,000 a year net. So within 2 years, I pretty much get all my money back out and enjoy a healthy cash flow.
What a win.
Massive win.
How does it make you feel?
It feels great because obviously I was all new to it, and you heavily rely on builders because I don't have the construction knowledge, especially in HMOs. What you learn in like a seminar or online is all kind of black and white, really. When you actually come and do it, there's practicalities with the actual structure and the floor plan, where the windows are and all that. So a lot of people kind of think of a misconception of, just turn anything into a 6-bed HMO. But it was really thinking on the end game. So who are our end clients? So who are our end tenants? Do they want large rooms or small rooms? So the tenants are enjoying a really sizable rooms, because I think one of our biggest rooms in there was like 18 square meters.
Wow.
And then another one behind that's like 16 square meters, and they rent really well and yield really well. So it's really thinking the end game as well as just trying to cram too many rooms in one house.
Student property or professional let?
Professionals, 6 professionals living there, mostly in a hospital, actually.
Sounds like a good first deal.
It was a massive deal for me, that one.
Okay, Sean, how has investing in HMOs changed your life?
I think massively. I mean, it's not just been the HMO journey, but a lot of the things that spurred on for it. So a lot of people I've met along the way, and just the support really from people in the community, people outside the community, different programs as well. And the fact that I've got this wealth of knowledge from very experienced investors, it kind of fast-tracked me into looking like I know what I'm doing, which is a good thing.
And now you do know what you're doing.
I do, yeah. There's still more to learn, but that's why I enjoy learning. From day one, I've always enjoyed learning. I've never been a good exam person, but when you put to the test practically, I'm more kind of hands-on, really. So it's been a good year, I can say.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Next up, Sean, tell us about your favorite part of HMO property investing.
If I'm honest with you, the favorite part is when you get it fully let and the money starts coming back in, because it feels great when you get the offer accepted, and then you've got to go through the refurb stage, which takes about 12, 14 weeks. And I guess it's the refinance as well. So on top of getting it, I had it let out before I had it refinanced, which, I don't know, in my opinion, looks a bit better really to the valuers. It's all full, and you can show them this is the rent we're getting in. So it all kind of falls into place, and I really enjoyed just kind of seeing the bankroll coming in, and it really serving what I set out for from day one. Really was to bring that passive income coming in, as well as providing quality accommodation to the community. So that's why I feel really proud of what I've produced, and I'm out there to provide more.
Good stuff, man. Sean, we've talked about your past. Before we move on to the present and your future plans in HMO property, let's take a minute to thank our sponsors.
Are you looking for an effortless HMO mortgage experience? If that's a yes, there's only one place to go: www.thehmomortgagebroker.co.uk, the UK's #1 specialist HMO mortgage broker. They're so specialised that they don't do anything else. HMO mortgages, HMO remortgages, and HMO bridging. That's it. They have access to every HMO lender out there, and even some exclusive products not available to other brokers. With lightning fast service and A1 communication, they're easily the best HMO broker in town. So to experience HMO lending made easy, go to www.thehmomortgagebroker.co.uk today.
Sean, fast forwarding to the present day, tell us about your current HMO portfolio.
So our current HMO portfolio gross size is about £860,000. I've got a net size about 220. We have 22 units. When I say we, I'm speaking on behalf of my own company. Yeah. 22 units, 21 rooms are let out. So we've only got one room void. 4 of which actually belong to my in-laws to be. So
what great JV partners.
No, well, I just kind of guided them through it, and it was from a commercial shop into 4-bed HMO, and that's literally a stone throws away from the university. So it was a good learning curve for me as well, being hands-on with that project along with the 2 others that I had going at the same time, and as well as my own cash flow, I've managed to add value to them instead of them considering to sell it on as a going concern. So again, I feel proud to have helped other people as well as myself.
So your 5 completed projects, are they all in one location?
Yes, they're all in Derby. They're in, like, I call it a triangle vicinity, basically. So you've got city centre, you've got the hospital, and you've got universities. So I have a mixture of students in some houses, and then I've got professionals in another house. And that's kind of my strategy, really.
Stick to one area, just dominate it. Sounds like a good strategy.
Yeah, of course.
Good stuff. Okay, and out of those 5, Sean, tell us about your single best HMO investment to date.
I think my single best investment has got to be, I call it Bedford Street. It's also a 6-bed, 6 ensuite HMO. One of the rooms is 16 square meters, has its own private access, and that brings in £780 per month for a couple, just alone for that single room.
Wow.
And again, that's a student property. I'm getting just over £2,000 a month just from a 6-bed ensuite HMO, and I find this is an incredible deal. I mean, it took longer to convert because of a lot of teething issues, but I'm glad it happened then because I learned a lot from it, and there's a lot of learnings I've taken away to go into my next few projects, and just being organised and planning it right. So yeah,
even from the best ones, there's always some great learnings.
Yeah. So it's the best one that cash flows, and also the one with the most learnings in. So that's why I treasure that one as kind of the ones I put a lot of emotion in, let's say.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Yeah.
Next up, Sean, tell us about one significant mistake that you've made in your HMO business that by sharing, you might help others avoid.
I think with 2 6-beds, I would say I still rushed into it. As soon as I got the keys, within a week or 2, was smashing bricks off walls. So the key was to kind of, I know now to plan better. And that's not by going through planning. It's essentially putting down pen to paper and sitting down with the whole team and say, look, this is the outcome. This is what needs to happen. And this is how we're going to do it. Rather than doing that, what happened with the 2 6-bed HMOs was we kind of just went along with it. So I still had a brief plan, but I don't think it was clear to the extent where it would have solved a lot of the teething issues along the way. So I'll give you an example, like drainage. Obviously, if you're putting 6 en suites in,
yeah,
the common sense is where's all that waste going to go? So something like just doing a drain survey and knowing exactly where the drains are would have solved a lot of issues halfway through, rather than having to stop halfway and then finding out, oh, we've dug a hole but there's no drain here, but on the plans it said there's a drain here. So there was a lot of guesstimating on the floor plans that I had initially done, and in the end it was solved. We found a very ancient drain that's not even on the survey. So sometimes even if you do a survey, it might not even be there. So it's kind of like trial and error, I guess.
Got
so
it.
Planning, that is one key thing I would advise.
Literally planning.
Yeah.
Okay. What about, Sean, your HMO portfolio plans for the next 12 months?
So for the next 12 months, it's going to be really, really exciting. I'm actually completing on my 6th house Monday coming now. So that's going to be a 4-bed HMO, but with 2 self-contained flats over 20 square meters. So that's going to be a very exciting property. It was one of my first pre-auction properties as well, which I managed to get for £105,000, which is dirt cheap in the area. I've got a lot of scope for the works on that one. And next week is going to be another pre-auction I bought, which is going to be an 8-bed HMO. And again, that's actually tenanted till June, so I've got time between now and June to get the planning ready, and as soon as they leave, we go straight in with the builders. And then with the others, they're much larger deals. So I've gotten 2 direct-to-vendor deals. One of them is actually a shop, which is which has been closed down, and it's a stone throws away from the uni. It's a 1-minute walk. And that's potentially a 14 or 15-bed HMO.
Fantastic.
So, like 2 7s on top of each other, and that'll GDV around the £700,000 mark. And another one which I was in today negotiating is potentially a 25-bed HMO. So I'll probably keep quiet on that one because it's not 100% confirmed. But if all goes to plan, the portfolio size will be 3.5 million by September next year. The 20th of September next year, and that date's really significant to me because
tell me why.
It's the day I'm getting married. So, and it will by then. I expect the portfolio to net cash flow £20,000 a month. So it's been a big change from what I've done the last year, and then up to the coming next 12 months going ahead.
Good stuff, man. Sounds like it's going to be a busy 12 months for you.
Yeah, well, the right teams are in place now. So I just need to project manage the project managers, let's say.
Yeah.
And still look out there for new deals.
Brilliant. Sean, apart from building the portfolio, is there anything else you're up to in or outside of property that you'd like to share with HMO Nation?
At the moment, I'm still quite focused on building portfolio, because obviously with the wedding coming up, there's planning for that as well. There's planning and everything. So at the moment, I'm not really involved in anything else. I am doing more kind of like support coaching in a way. So like there are people that are just starting out, and I've offered to like help them out, with free of charge basically. So I've actually got one guy now. We do like an accountability meeting every week. So I'm looking to probably take this forward after September next year, and hopefully just coach a few more people, and just to get started really. And eventually, when I get more competent, I'll be more confident to help others that may be in a similar position to myself now, like halfway through, let's say. So that's what I'm getting up to.
Good stuff, man. Sean, what advice would you give current HMO landlords?
I'd say always think of the end game. So I see a lot of people getting into HMOs without actually planning, like I said before. Just think about who your end tenant is, and just don't be over optimistic with the rents. Make sure you've done enough due diligence, as you should do with anything. And just imagine yourself as if you was a tenant. I mean, I've been sort of a naughty tenant before, where my partner was living in HMO, but then I've kind of snuck in. But yeah, I've experienced like really bad HMOs where I always tell my partner that I remember going to the shower and then someone turns the tap on downstairs and then it's just like a dribbling shower, and just loads of issues which can be avoided if you have the right systems in place and the right planning in place to just to have longevity, because you're not in it to own this property for like 1 or 2 years. The idea is you want this for a lifetime or a legacy, and if you pass it down to your children, you're going to be passing problems to your children. And that's what I would advise, really. Just think long term, and just be extra cautious when you're doing your due diligence.
Okay, man. And how about any advice you'd give people who are looking to get into HMO and property investing for the very first time?
If you're getting into it the very first time, I would say get educated. Not in particular to any course. There's loads of free resources. So depending on how fast you want to go, depends on how much you want to spend on courses, really. But as well as that, I think what's seriously helped me is being in my area and picking up wealth of knowledge from investors in my area that have been here for like 2-3 years, some even like over 10 years experience, and know the area, as well as going to the typical estate agents, letting agents. I think getting a snapshot from investors is a better and more honest appeal to what you want to do. So speaking to people in the area is a key success factor, I'd say, in getting to know your area quicker and just getting the job done right, getting the area right.
Getting educated in the right way, right?
Getting educated in the right way. And there's a wealth of it over the internet, and just speaking to people. Just go out there.
Perfect. Sean, before we sign off, we'd like you to recommend one great HMO resource or book that you'd like to share. Then let HMO Nation know how they can connect with you, and then we'll say goodbye.
All right, so HMO resource, I wouldn't say it's orientated to HMOs specifically, but I've been recently reading the 12-week year, which focuses on actions and results. Because ultimately, for an HMO, let's say, an action is to get one, okay? And then the next one is to convert it and then get it let out. And you always put a time to it. So the execution is getting those deals accepted, getting it rented out, and getting it refinanced. And
what was the name of the book, Sean? Sorry,
the 12-week year.
12-week year. Okay.
Yeah, and it essentially tells you there's 4 years in 1 year, basically. So treat every quarter as 1 year. So each week is a month, effectively. So it's really, I think I've only recently picked up the book, but a lot of the stuff I've been applying subconsciously, let's say.
Okay.
To be able to like pick it up now and like understand it better and be more prepared, I think I can 3 times my results just by following the simple measures that they suggest. So yeah, I think that's a good tip to give.
Cool. And how about if HMO Nation want to connect with you? How can they do that?
I'm all over social media, so
yep.
I'm probably.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's how you found me, right? On property forums. Obviously, I can give out my mobile number, but I won't do it on the podcast.
Do you have a website, Sean?
I don't. It's purely just on my business page, my Facebook business page, and my. I can give an email out, actually. Yeah. Email.
Tell you what, we'll take it from you afterwards, and we'll stick it on the show notes page for you.
Nice. All right.
We'll link up all your social profiles. Sean, thank you for sharing your journey. We salute you. Let's get an HMO high five.
High five.
And we'll see you again soon. Thanks, Sean.
Hey. See you later.
Thanks for joining us. If you've enjoyed this and want more informational, educational, and inspirational HMO property content, then please hit the subscribe button and give us a like. See you next time.